Howard shot a lot of bars while he was chasing Chief Seattle. Anyway. So let's keep going. Back to the sentence at the bottom, page 24, it carries over page 25. The patterns of recruitment for slave and mercenary we have reviewed here held true for bourgeoisies and proletariats. What does that mean? According to Robert Lopez, in the Carolingian Empire, long-distance trade was dominated by Jews and Italians. In medieval Europe, Lopez and Irving Raymond have documented the importance of Mediterranean traders at international fairs and the development of foreign merchant houses in the towns of the hinterland. Who did they recruit as slaves and mercenaries, do you think? Who would you recruit? You're starting your feudal empire. You're a landlord, and you want some people to work on your land and to protect your land from the other feudal landlords. Who do you want to go to in terms of population to recruit from? Say it again. The poor, the who? The doubters? The dumb, right? The people who are not educated? Yes. Prisoners, no question. Who else? The undereducated, people who are incarcerated, the people who don't have any money, the poor. In other words, you're going to go to those who are least able to defend themselves. And in a society where strangers are looked at with suspicion, you go get the people who are put as social outcasts. 3 of the categories you named. And if you can conflate identity with that class status, then you mark certain populations, the Jews. At some point later on, the Irish. At some point, and then for the rest of the time until now at least, the blacks. In other words, you mark identity, you conflate identity. In fact, the word slave from the Slavic populations that were enslaved. White, we would call now people. They wouldn't recognize the word, but Slavic. Yes. Yes. White ethnics, yes. White ethnic is a disaggregation of whiteness. It would be like saying there's a class hierarchy in whiteness. At the center of it, you have those who arrived there first and claim the core of whiteness. White Anglo-Saxon Protestants. Right. I am white. I am English. And I am not a Catholic. Now, if they're at the core, everybody else comes out in valences. I'm Catholic. Okay, if you're Catholic, you're probably Irish or Italian, meaning what? Your whiteness is in question. You're other than English. You're an ethnic. Ethnic from the Greek meaning other than Gentile, other than eventually Roman, now other than Christian meaning what? Other than WASP. Joe Kennedy and your family, you're Irishman. You're white ethnic, which is why they call the Kennedys the rise of ethnic politics. Now at the outer circle of that white identity lies who? The Negro, servant to you all. And as long as you're in that circle, everybody on the other side of you gets to be white. Now the minute you leave that outer ring, the Italian's like, oh, damn. Yeah, you black. Inside, that's it. Wait a minute, no, come back, black people. Because I don't like this blackness. And in fact, and we'll read it in here, that starts before America. Many of you made comments in the postings about the emergence of the mafia. La Cosa Nostra. Say it again. Gangs in New York. You saw that. The true Americans, right? Daniel Day-Lewis versus Leonardo DiCaprio. The irony is all y'all black. To the United States Army. And you saw the Irish getting off the boats and getting a uniform to go fight in the Civil War. And some Irishmen talking about, I don't even know where Tennessee is. What is this? You're a soldier. It's either that or jail. That's exactly right. Gangs in New York is an example of that. What we now call the mafia didn't start in America, started in Sicily, which was seen by Italy as the Sicilians were the blacks of Italy. You're not from northern Italy. You're from that out southern Italy, you dark and swarthy people. You got a touch of the Moor in you, in fact. Oh, for real? Yeah, watch this. We're going to show you something. Yeah, all right. If I'm going to be in this outer ring, damn it, it's going to be a ring. Somebody mentioned Goodfellas. And in fact, I think Malika was you. Why couldn't Ray Liotta ever be in La Cosa Nostra? Why couldn't he be a maiden name? Yeah, he wasn't all Italian. He had Irish blood. He'd be serious about blood. This ain't, in other words, this race thing, that's something like we started. Yeah, he's a mulatto. What we would call a derogatory term of mulatto, meaning what? You mix with what? Donkey and a donkey. Yeah, right. What is a donkey, right? What is a horse? You give an offspring, mule can't have children. Mule, lotto. What? And what does Leanna do? I'm going to prove my loyalty. I'm going to kill anybody you say kill. I'm going to do anything you want. You can't get in. Why? You just weren't born. You don't have the right blood. What? But if you believe in that, if you believe that that's the marker you want, you'll do anything. I know I can't get in, but I will prove my loyalty to you by doing anything. And that's the person that's out of their mind, because they've accepted the premise of their identity not being who they want to be, and they will do anything, including continue to erase themselves. That's the one that will never sell out. I mean, in some ways, I don't know. Anyway, let's keep going. So yes, but what does Robinson say? Again, about page 24. The patterns of recruitment for slave and mercenary, meaning getting the weak or getting the uneducated, getting the poor, getting the prisoners, getting those who are now conflated in identity, the pattern of recruitment for them, the ones we have reviewed, held true for bourgeoisies and proletarians. Meaning what? The proletariat is the workers, the ones we're talking about. The bourgeoisie is the managers. It held true for them too. So which are the two groups that he then mentions that are recruited into the bourgeoisie? In the next sentence. Jews and Italians. How can you recruit a Jew or an Italian? I'm sorry, but look at it. Look at it. Are those two ethnic groups? Yes. Are those two national groups? Yes. Are those two racial groups? Did you know some black Jews? Yeah. Judaism is a culture. It has become conflated with particular ethnic groups. It's a national identity, but it's one that has been conflated with biology. People think they can spot a Jew. Really? The first Jews were Africans. The Falasha, the Beta Israel. In fact, they're the ones that catch the hell in Israel right now, because they've been relegated because of the deep racism of that state, that settler colony called Israel. They have been relegated to be the serfs of Israel by all but those who have freed themselves from the sickness of racism. Because there are people who we would call white in Israel who say, this is wrong, this is racism. It's true, but guess what? They're not by any stretch of the imagination the majority. In fact, they have succeeded in acquiring a racial identity that's a historical error. Now, if you say something people consider you anti-Semitic, you don't realize that there are no Semites in Europe. European Jewry has no Semitic biological connection. Semites are Arabs. Semites are from what we call the Middle East. Someone said, you're anti-Semitic. I'm sorry. You're from Brooklyn. Your people are from Canada and New York, and before that, France. How did you become a Semite? Because now Semite has been unlocked from ethnicity and linked to culture and then re-inscribed on another group. It's crazy. But it's very useful because it don't have to be true if everybody believes it. It's like talking about black people. I know what y'all be talking about black stuff, but the bottom line is, you know, black people in a certain condition. Wow, don't even matter the facts. No. Okay. Then keep dancing down that path and see what happens. So, why Jews? Why Italians? Because in the case of Jews, Jews are not Christians. Christians, early Christians in Europe were Catholic or Protestant? Catholic. The Catholic Church had a political economy and a hierarchy. Who are the managers of the Catholic Church? The priests. The bishops. The Catholic Church relies on labor to fund the managers. And who's the owner? Go to Vatican City, you find out who owns the Catholic Church. Technically, the stockholders should be the people. But people keep giving their money up, and some gold keeps swelling. In fact, it got so bad in the Catholic Church in medieval Europe that what they said was, you got to pay for us, and when you pay us, we'll pray you into heaven. Or pray you out of purgatory. What do they call them? Indulgences. That's right. Y'all studied that, right? This is part of the origin of the I protest, the Protestant church.